Hello, my name is Nell, and I have things to say. Today I would like to introduce you to a little game I like to play called Awkwardness, Ignorance, or Ableism. It's a game I play when I'm out and about and people make comments to me regarding my disability, out of nowhere. And I like to think, were they being awkward? Were they being ignorant? Were they being ableist? Now usually I don't come to a decision because it's hard to know people's motives, but it's an interesting thing to think about. And I want to share some comments that I've received and interactions that I've had with you, and maybe you can help me figure out. And the thing about ableism is that it doesn't come from hatred. It's not like a hatred of disabled people. It's just this, it's more this assumption that if somebody has a disability, then they need to be treated differently. And I'm not talking just treated differently like, oh, make sure there's access, or it's viewing somebody as a different kind of human because of their disability and believing that they need to be spoken to a different way or respected in a different way. If you find yourself saying something to a disabled person that you probably wouldn't say to somebody else, and it isn't related to, can you get through this doorway? Do you need a ramp? Then you've got to start thinking about, where is that coming from? Why are you saying that? So I'm going to share some interactions and comments with you, and maybe we can figure this out. I'm remembering a few years ago when I went to vote, and I was the only person in a wheelchair there. There was about 4 or 5 dozen people there. A lot of young people, a lot of old people, everyone in between, but I was the only one in a wheelchair. And as I arrived, this lady who was sitting there on her own with a bunch of papers looked at me and got really excited. And she came over and she gave me a flyer and she said, "I think you will be very interested in what we're doing here." And then she went back to her seat. She didn't give flyers to anybody else. And I looked at the flyer and it said, "Young people for euthanasia." And don't get me wrong, I am pro-euthanasia. I think it's a humane thing that you can do to respect people by giving them choice. We give people choices to prolong their lives, and I think we should also give people the choice to figure that out. That's a whole different kettle of eggs. But out of everybody there, she thought, those young people, no, they're probably not interested in euthanasia. Those old people, well, we're young people for euthanasia. Oh, the person in a wheelchair, they're probably interested in having this option. It was weird. It was weird. Another time I went to vote, and this is why I like online voting this year, but I went up to vote and I was just saying to people like, no, I don't need your flyers. I made my decision. And this guy who was sitting there just started yelling out, "Oh, there she goes, oh, here she comes, oh, she knows what she's doing, look at her go, look at her, oh, no, she knows what she's on about, oh, she knows what she's doing, look at her go, oh, look at her go." Look at me go. Look at me go right over your foot, mister. No, I didn't. I could have, and I wish I did. It's like, why? Where did that come from? Why? Why aren't you calling out to all the people who are walking in? Look at her go, step, look at her go. Like, why me? Why bring attention to me and the fact that I'm just rolling along the best I can? Another time I was at the shopping centre and I was talking to my worker, and I'm, in a lot of these situations, I'm talking to somebody. So I'm clearly verbal, I'm clearly cognizant, I don't have any impairments when it comes to speech or understanding. So I was chatting to my worker, I was putting things on the conveyor belt, and this old lady tapped my worker on the shoulder and she said, "Oh, isn't it just wonderful to see her out and about doing all these things?" This lady didn't know me. And I'm like, I'm right here. I'm here doing I'm the one doing the things. If you think that it's great that I'm doing the things, you can tell me. And comments like that make me wonder, why are you congratulating me on doing the things? It's just the thing that a people does. I'm just doing the people things. But also, if you think it's great, maybe tell me instead of the person who is with me. This happens a lot. People will speak to my worker or my companion and not me. Another time, my worker and I, chatting, we went past this group of ladies, and one of the ladies looked at me and went, "Oh," and then said to my worker, "Oh, doesn't she have such a pretty face?" My face is right here. If you think I have a pretty face, tell it to my pretty face. Thank you. I am here. I can hear you. I I guess sometimes people think that maybe the disabled person can't understand them, so you aim at somebody else, but still, even if the person cannot fully comprehend everything you're saying, they will comprehend the fact that you are speaking to them. They will also comprehend the fact that you are not speaking to them. Somebody might be able to understand what you're saying and not verbalize a response, but they deserve to hear it from your mouth to their face. I'm going to give you a little fun example of what it sometimes feels like. All right, so you're you, I'm somebody else. You're sitting there in a wheelchair. They having a good day? Yeah. Oh, they must be having fun here. What a lovely shirt they're wearing. Oh, yeah. Well, you two have a good day. Bye-bye, have a good day. Did you feel listened to? Did you feel directly addressed? Did you feel respected? Funny thing is, if I'm out and about on my own, people will speak to me because there's no able-bodied person around. So they're like, oh, hi, yeah. You must be okay to speak to, you can understand. If I have somebody with me, often things are directed to them or things are looked to them to double check. I've been out and I've ordered food and somebody will look at the person with me being like, oh, is that all right? There was a time when a friend of mine and I were at a pub and I was waiting at the bench with my wallet sitting on the bench and she was there and the bartender was over there. There was no one else at the bar, no one else waiting. I was waiting and waiting. And then she just said, this is bullshit. Walked around the other side of me, leant on the bar, looked at him. He immediately came over and said, how can I help you? And she said, well, actually, my friend has been waiting to order for a while, so could you say to her? And he's like, oh, yeah. I said, I'd like a Strongbow cider. And he still looked at her. I was ordering alcohol. So he was like looking at her like, is that good? She's like, I have nothing to do with this. There's this awkwardness, I guess, when people don't have a lot of experience with disabilities and they think, I don't know how to talk to these people. I have a tip. People. We're just people. If you don't know how to talk to a person with a disability, just talk to the person. It's usually a good way to start. And in this area, we have quite a high number of people with disabilities, so it's not something new. It's not something foreign. But if you're struggling with knowing how to talk to somebody with a disability, just remember that they're a person. That's a really, really good place to start. We are people. We like to be addressed directly. That's a nice feeling. I don't know if I think sometimes it's an internalized ableism where people really do see disabled people as other, as people who are confusing. We're just people. Please speak to us. Please speak to me if you have something to say to me. Don't speak to the person next to me. Please speak to me. I'd appreciate that. And yeah, if you've had funny interactions or funny comments that kind of made you feel really grumpy, because it does wear out your energy when you're like, oh boy, yeah, there we go. Yes, I am disabled. I had noticed. Thank you. Thank you for bringing it up. Would you have said anything if I wasn't disabled? Would you have acknowledged me saying, look at you go, if I was just walking? Yeah. If you've had fun interactions and comments, please tell me about them. I'd love to hear them. Let's debate. Ignorance, awkwardness, or ableism. All right. Bless.